Shalom Aleichem for Shabbat Achayimot. Mishnah Yomi is in Nazir, chapter 9, the last chapter of Nazir, Mishnah Gimel. Yesterday we spoke about a case where a Nazir who was already tahor, already pure, was considered to remain pure when there was a doubt, and vice versa. If he was already tameh, he remains tameh when he might have had contact with a corpse. Shereglaim ledavar. Those are the last words in the Mishnah. There's legs to the matter, meaning there's sort of reasons to continue this assumption. Now, Mishnah Gimel continues this theme. Hamotze met batchila. Someone's digging and they find a corpse buried, and it's not in a cemetery. At least we don't know it's a cemetery. Mushkav kedarko, and he's lying there normally, as if he's been buried, not as if he just randomly fell there or, God forbid, was murdered. Note low, they can remove this body, and for instance, if they're doing construction, building a road, vetivusato, and the tivusa, the dirt underneath the body, which absorbs some of the decomposition. Matzah shnaim, but what if they find two bodies? Notlan vetivasan, they can also remove them. There's no assumption yet that this was actually a burial site or cemetery. But matzah shlosha, but now if they continue their construction project and they find that there are three bodies in the area, im yesh bein zeh lezeh me'arba amot v'ad shmona. Now, if there's a distance in between these bodies between 4 and 8 amot, harei zeh shchunat kivarim. This is a neighborhood of graves, meaning this area is an official cemetery. People were buried here quite on purpose with that specific distance in between the grave sites. So really, they're probably going to have to cancel the construction project. And they cannot move these corpses. They can't move these graves. Now the Mishnah adds on, Bodek Himeno, and now you have to also check Ulaholon and further on Esrim Amma. So they have to really dig up an additional area in case there are more burial crypts. The Gemara explains, and we actually mentioned back in Moed Katan, that they would have a section to bury corpses, and then there'd be like a little open area, and there'd be another section to bury corpses in the ancient graveyards. So if there's one group of 3 corpses, then possibly there is another group of corpses somewhere nearby. So matzah echad b'sofis rimama, if they find another grave 20 amot away, bodek heimenu l'cholan esimama, they have to search an additional 20 amot around, shiraglaim l'davar, that now there are legs to the matter, meaning we know people have been buried here, quite a few people have been buried here, it could be a large cemetery, we need to figure out the boundaries of this, first of all, to be Olei Regel, so people going to Yerushalayim to bring the Carbon Pesach, it's Baruch Hashem soon, next year in Yerushalayim, so they don't get tameh. So a Nazir doesn't go there and get tameh, and also you can't build a hotel on top of a Jewish gravesite. She'ilu mitchila matzah, the Mishnah comments, if it was that they had just found them sort of one at a time with nothing else there, there's no 3 of them close together, not levet vasa, they would have been allowed to remove the bodies and rebury them, of course, in a Jewish cemetery. This Mishnah is actually quite relevant for the Israeli antiquities, when they're digging up ancient sites, if they find bodies, and of course in construction, so it's relevant. The Mishnah Daled, Kol Sfeik Negaim Batchila, if there's a doubt if someone has Negaim, has Sarat, Tahor, then he's still pure until he's confirmed otherwise. He's innocent until proven guilty by Sarat. Until he's confirmed to be tameh, to have tzarat, to be a mitzora. Meijin nizkak latuma, but once he's confirmed as mitzora, sfeiko tameh. Then if there's a doubt he improved, he's still considered in that status. Now the Gemara and the Mefarshim explain that according to the sages in the Gemara, we're dealing with 2 different people, and one of them, the spot got bigger, and the other one, we're not sure if it got, we're not sure which one got bigger or which one got smaller. Remember, Yekiva could be even the same possible mitzora that we're dealing with. So see the Gemara for explanation. And of course, when we get into Masechet Negaim, we will learn these rules in quite some detail. Now the Mishnah brings another case of Reglaim Ledavar, B'shiva Drochim Bodkim Et Zav. In 7 ways we check out, we examine a potential Zav. Zav is someone who has an unusual discharge from the private parts. Zava is also, but by a Zav, we do these checks and see, well, maybe he ate too much, maybe he drank too much alcohol, maybe he's looking at something indecent. maybe there are certain things that could cause, like, biologically or medically cause this problem. It's not really a zov. Ad shelo nizkak l'ziva, before he's confirmed to be a zav. The Gemara talks about these: b'machal, eating too much; mishte, b'masa, carrying too much; b'kfitza, jumping; b'choli, if he's ill, certain illnesses; b'mare, seeing certain sights; here hor, thinking certain indecent thoughts. Misha nizkak l'ziva, but once he's confirmed to be a zav, ein bodkinuto. There's no excuses. There's no scapegoats. Onso isfeiko shechavazaro tameim. So whether your mission was by onus, he couldn't help it, it was one of those reasons, or a suffix, he's not sure if it happened, or shechavaziro, a regular mission, these are all tameim. These are tamei, that's the rule of Ezav. Shiraglaim ledavar, that it has legs to stand on. There's now a chazaka, a status of ziva. The Mishnah brings one more such case. Hamake et chavero, God forbid, someone hit another person with a pretty serious injury, amduhu lamita, and the doctor said this guy is going to die from his wounds. V'hakel mimma shahaya, but then in the hospital he actually got better. He had a medical improvement. La'achar mikon, but then later on hichbid, he got worse. V'met, and God forbid he passed away. Chayev, so the one who did the striking is actually liable, and he could, if there's witnesses, be put to death by the court for such an act. The assumption being that his passing away was based on the actual injuries, that first original attack. Obviously, if he had passed away from a hospital-based, he had acquired an illness in the hospital, which God forbid sometimes happens, then that might be different. But here they can assess that it happened from the original injury. But Rabbi Nechemia Omer Pater. Rabbi Nechemia says Pater. He's not put to death because Lamaisa, the victim, did get better and was not on the road to ruin at some points in this recovery process, which did not lead to recovery. Shiraglaim ledavar, that there are legs to the matter. Now, it's not clear exactly if this Raglaim ledavar refers to the sages or to Rabbi Nechemia. It could be, since the doctors assessed that this man was going to die from the original injury, that is Raglaim ledavar, at a status of being on the way down. Or it could be, since he had a noticeable medical improvement, could be like Rabbi Nechemia, that there are reasons to say that the assaulter, the attacker, is off the hook. Shabbat shalom and good Shabbos.